Welcome back to a brand new episode of NH Unscripted. I know, you just can't wait to get out of bed. I get it. We are coming to you from the Taj Mahal-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios, 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. My goodness, got my Nehru jacket on. I'm day tripping, baby, day tripping. Yeah, that's a Monkees thing. Anyway, oh no, actually Beatles. Yeah, I'll get that right. Hey, we hit my age. What can I say? Oh my gosh, NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. And, oh man, before we get too deep today, I need to thank my sponsor. We are proud, as always, to have the law offices of Shaheen and Gordon as our sponsor. ShaheenGordon.com is their website. Get out your pencil. You're going to want to put it on your frigilators. ShaheenGordon.com. Their phone number is 603-614-5560. They had a blurb on Instagram. If you would allow me to read that, I would be happy. Congratulations to attorney Michael Atkins, who received the Nashua NAACP Excellence in Service Award. Yes, I'm telling you, these people are on fire. They had a dinner last week called the Freedom Fund Dinner. The theme was the fierce urgency of now, a phrase borrowed from Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. Baby, some of us were alive during those days. Michael proudly continues to fight for equality and change alongside the other members of the NAACP, urges others to do the same. In his words, the NAACP has been making democracy work since 1909. Okay, I don't go back that far, but I am kind of old. We're fighting this fight today still. Anyway, ShaheenGordon.com is their website, 603-614-5560, and they are all over the state. And I'm telling you, they do tremendous work. Tremendous work. You'll thank me for that one. Well, there are some topics that I cannot wait to get out of bed for, and one of those is barbecue. I am so happy to have my friends Dan Lloyd and Brian Boyd in to chat about barbecue today. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. I want to start. First of all, I want to bring up Big Dog Sauce website. It is gorgeous. What an upgrade out there. I just happened to go out. I was going to just take some notes on products out there. Dude, congratulations. It's gorgeous.
Oh, it's done well. Mike, my partner Mike Diamond, he did a phenomenal job. He upgraded the website, and it looks really, really good. So you guys haven't been to it, it's bigdogsauce.com.
Yeah.
And it's our best yet.
It's a night and day difference. It really is. It's so clean. You can find everything. It's right there at all on the front page for the most part. Everything that you would pretty much want.
Yeah, it's he did very, very well. So kudos to him.
Yeah,
I take no credit for that. That's all him.
You could. He's not here.
No, he's listen. It's all him.
Brian, what's your website out there for you guys?
We are hotmessbbqnh.com.
I love it.
We're nothing like his. We're not nearly as good. But there's links to our Facebook page, and Twitter, Instagram.
So there's news everywhere, right? Congratulations. You were telling me this morning about some new information of you and Walmart, huh?
Yeah, we launched this weekend with Walmart.com.
Can you believe that?
And so anywhere Walmart.com is found, you can now purchase all of our Big Dog sauces and spice rubs and dry rubs, or freeze-dried.
Man, oh man. I cannot get my head around what type now of a task it is to have to fulfill a Walmart order.
Well, we're going to find out, right?
I was going to say, yeah.
We're going to find out. Right now, there's two options we have. When you launch with Walmart.com, you can get supplier fulfilled, which means the supplier, which is us, gets the order, and then we just ship it out. Or we do Walmart fulfilled, and we send all the product to Walmart, and Walmart then will ship it and distribute. They handle the customer service. They handle everything, returns. So basically, we wash and we just make sure that they're supplied with inventory. And, we're going to be going to option number 2 very fast.
Yeah.
Option 1 will be right now. We got our first order in over the weekend and came in from Colorado, and that order goes out today. So, so we're going to see how it goes. It's more of a logistics, what the cost is compared to, and again, how much was coming in. I mean, we start getting flooded with orders, then guess what? It's going to start going to Walmart fulfilled very, very fast.
Yeah. Talk about logistics. How do you prep for that? I mean, do they give you any kind of a number? They say to you, look, when you sign on with us, you have to have a minimum ready to go like right now. And so
they don't.
I
mean, there's not a minimum, and there's not a minimum that we keep. When we did this the first time, when we talked to them the first time, we thought, we got to keep a pallet of everything in stock at Walmart, right? Well, that's not the case. They said just send us, 3-4 cases of each, and we keep it in stock when
That's
we run
it?
low.
That's all they were asking for at first?
Well, as we grow, and then we start seeing numbers. The holiday, we're launching right at the holiday, so I don't know what to expect. I mean, this could be huge, and or it could be a bust, but I don't know. We'll see.
Dude, if it's a bust and you're on Walmart.com, something's wrong.
Yeah, so we got a marketing campaign that we're going to launch. And we're going to, we got some sponsor links that we're going to put up, and we're going to get involved with their Walmart's Holiday Hot gift season, and we'll be featured in there. So we're going to pay for that campaign.
Yeah, of course.
And, but again, it's getting out there. It's a big step for us.
Yeah, I can imagine. I had a product years ago. I won't bring it up, but Trader Joe's wanted it. But man, they nickel and dime me to death. Mm-hmm. I had small jars like that would hold, I don't know, 16 ounces maybe at the most. But they wanted to put it in a quart jar, private label it for them, and they wanted to be able to sell that quart jar for like $1.50. Yeah. Dude, I was selling the 16-ounce stuff for like $5.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know about this, getting that down to $1.50.
Well, the people that get it down, and I'm not going to name any competitors' names.
Just you and me, Dan. Don't worry.
I value. I'm not going to say any names, but when you buy a particular bottle, that's the leading brand out there at $3.25 a bottle.
Yeah, I've been there.
You can only imagine what their cost is to make it.
No kidding.
Yeah. And of course, if you look at their ingredients, that will tell you why it's so low.
Yeah.
So they're using low quality ingredients, and that's how people get things, the prices the way they are.
Yeah.
But you pay for what you get.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no kidding. Brian, I haven't seen you in a while, man. What's new with you?
I know. Well, but first off, from my surgery, we've been doing some cooking, and we're just pretty much wrapping up for the year.
Yeah?
So.
Has it been a good year for you?
Yeah, overall, it's been a good year. We've had a good time. A little team challenge, but that's okay.
Yeah, in what can I ask you in what way?
Yeah, I mean, well, as we talked before, my team's made up of a bunch of 25 to 30-year-olds.
Yeah,
right, and they're all couples and they want to get married. So we had two weddings this summer that they don't understand that barbecue is the most important thing.
Of course, how do they not get that?
Exactly. So of the 8 comps that we did this year, I had one where I had the whole team there. Otherwise, it was all split up.
Man,
and that's okay because we have a good time and we do well, But overall, it was a good year for us.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to the future and doing more next year.
Yeah. Get more comps.
More comps. Yeah.
I have questions about the competition stuff. We'll get into it in a little while, but it's my pure curiosity. It has nothing to do with anything, but I'm just fascinated by the whole business. Yeah. Your team is called
Hot Mess Barbecue.
It is called that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if that was just the brand of your...
No, that's our team name.
Okay.
So it's the company brand too, but it's the team name.
Yeah.
So,
where do we want to start? Do you want to start with your products, or do you just want to chit-chat about like meat for barbecuing and all of that?
Well, I guess we can go... pretty much what we've been up to.
Yeah, let's talk about what you've been doing.
Yeah, we've had a busy last 30 days since you and I talked last. Yeah. And that's good timing.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Well, we're almost professionals here. Oh, you are listening to NH Unscripted, baby. Some enchanted evening. That's what this is. Yeah, I am your Jay and the American Flag host, Ray Dudley, coming to you from the dating game-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. I am happy to be out of bed myself. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkmans in Concord, 101.9 FM for those beautiful souls in Manchester. We are talking barbecue. Did I just drool on myself? Hang on. We'll be right back. Welcome back to NH Unscripted. You could probably hear me smiling. I'm sure you can. This is where we go to find out what becomes of the brokenhearted. Yeah, I'm your Jimmy Ruffin-like host, Ray Dudley, coming to you from the Green Acres-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. I bring up the Green Acres because of Arnold Ziffel, that little pig. We're going to be talking about meat here in just a moment. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. That's in Concord. 101.9 FM for those beautiful, beautiful, beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. Dan Lloyd from Big Dog Sauce is in the house, as is Brian Boyd from Hot Mess Barbecue NH. All right. Let's talk about. Oh, you were in the middle of talking about your past 30 days.
Oh yeah, we've had a busy last 30 days. We just got back from our first stop was the Jack Daniel's World Competition, and that was a invitational only event down in Lynchburg, Tennessee. And that was fascinating. We had 75 teams from around the world that were there.
So why were you there?
We got an invite, basically, to come in and present our sauce to the community down there as well as the teams across the world.
So they found out about your sauce and sent an invitation, said, would you please come and tell these folks about it?
Yes.
Seriously?
One day I got an email. I opened up the email and I thought it was like one of those marketing subscription emails. This is our event's coming up, blah, blah, blah. And I'm reading through it. Actually I saved it. I said, I'll come back to it. I finished all my emails, came back to it and started reading and went, oh, this would be kind of cool to go. Just, And then I kept, please upload your vendor information right here. And I went, what?
Dude, that would have made me nervous. That would have made me nervous.
Well, I went back about 3 times, and I was trying to reread it, and it says, we're pleased to have you join us. And I was like, okay. And then upload. I was, all right, so I'm going to call them. There was a number to call if there was any questions. Because I'm certainly not just going to upload information. So I called them, and they said, no, we've love to have you come down and be a vendor at our event, and they said they're expecting 40,000 people or so through the door. And I went, oh, really? And it really took me about 5 minutes to absorb it. And I think I called my wife, called my mother, and said, hey, listen, then I called Dr. Brian. And I said, you're not going to believe this.
Called my mother.
So we went down. We went down and we had a great time. We had 4 international teams picked up our sauce, and so the one in Denmark is using it right now, and I thought that was fascinating.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
That is pretty cool. They sent us a picture of the Denmark team with our sauce, and I was like, that's kind of cool when you have, you're got a chance to introduce yourself to some international teams.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah. I don't mean to interrupt, but see, this is where we're going to run out of time. I know it. Yep. You get a team from like Denmark. Are their tastes different? Did they ask for something specific that would be like?
No.
No,
it really wasn't any different.
I'm shocked.
No, they came in and they tasted them. They liked them, and Obviously, I don't ship over there. I would make an exception if they were going to do competition. I would send them a mixed box or something. But they're using them, and they're going to, let us know. So, hey, maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
I'm just curious if their taste buds were different,
Not one of the teams out there had a different taste bud.
Wow.
As far as I could find.
Yeah.
Yeah. The some of the international teams that I've talked to, they're really looking for the American flavor, the barbecue of the American flavor. So
how would you describe that as a?
I don't know.
Yes, I know. I put you on the spot here. But
every country in the world has their own type of barbecue, right? There's Korean barbecue, there's Japanese, there's Danish. So and they tend to historically use their own spices and what's local to the region.
Yep.
But whenever you start doing when you start doing competitions, Kansas City Barbecue Society, or KCBS, is an international organization. So what they try to strive to is a standard flavor profile across the world from a competition standpoint.
Got you.
And America's known for the most for having their barbecue.
Uh-huh.
Right, so that's one of our original foods. So from that perspective, they're looking to get that American taste of what our barbecue tastes like, and they're not, typically not looking for a Georgia, or a vinegar base. They're looking for the Kansas City or the Texas barbecue, the sweeter barbecue.
Got you.
What you would think a traditional barbecue flavor is.
Yeah. So I interrupted you, Dan.
No, it's okay.
You were halfway through your month. So what else happened there? You went to Jack Daniels.
So we went to Jack, picked up a butcher in Tennessee. So they'll be our flagship store as soon as they move some product. They're going to make room for us. So we're going to have a store in Tennessee, which will be great. And they're a store that's was at the Jack, so they're really well known down there. So we'll be in their store hopefully by the first of the year. And then we went ahead and we went to Washington, D.C., and we picked up a distributor down in Washington, D.C. We went to a place called Meet the Makers, and we got picked up by a company called Union Kitchen, and they got 8 grocery stores down there. And we got picked up by 2 distributors, one for sure, the other one we're working on, but they service all of Virginia and Maryland. So you
are conquering the world.
So we will be in their warehouses and be available through their distributor here shortly. So DC was very, very good for us. We picked up a blogger, a gluten-free blogger down there, because all our products are gluten-free. So they loved it, and they're now featuring us on their blogs down in DC. So that's been big. Yeah. And then we picked up a store in Texas. It's going to be the barbecue store online, and they're going to be carrying our product down in Texas and have our store product at their store. It's owned by a guy named
killing it.
It's owned by a gentleman named Robert Smith, who's 8-time world champion, and he and a friend Dustin, we've met them through the CBA, and Brian knows them. And great guys, wonderful team down there. First class barbecue out of Texas, and they own a restaurant down there, and then they own a barbecue store down there.
This is fascinating.
So we are, we're firing a lot of cylinders right now.
No kidding. Understatement alert. Jeez.
Yep. And then we're headed to Connecticut in 2 weeks to go to Mohegan Sun. So we'll be down there at their holiday festival, Mohegan Sun.
You doing taste testings? What happens at Mohegan?
Well, it's an expo. It's craft. Yeah. It's a very large craft fair, and there 50,000 people. It's bumper to bumper, wall to wall people, 3 days straight. So it's going to be a busy weekend.
I don't know how you plan for this stuff. Seriously,
it's
hard. I imagine, right?
It's going to be a challenge.
Well, we plan a year out. Matter of fact,
I can't even imagine that. No, that's okay. A month out would be a lot to me.
Well, Phyllis asked me yesterday. She said to me, she wanted to know if I had started our planning for 2026. Well, I started a little bit of it, but we need to. There are a lot of events that the big ones launch like January 1st. The applications go out and they fill up within a week, and so we have to be on top of it. And so we know some events that we're going to come back to. We're always looking for new ones, and then we squeak things in as they come up.
Good grief, man! How do you? What do you take drugs? Coffee? I mean, how do you do this? I can't. I cannot imagine.
I'll tell you, I have a great partner system. My wife carries us. So, and then,
I struggle to get out of bed. You're like you hit the floor and you're like at Walmart. I got these restaurants. We're going down to D.C. We've been invited here. I'm like, my God.
Yep, and then we're going to be partnering here with Brian, and we're going to be launching a. Well, maybe I should let you tell that.
Yeah.
So one of the types of sauces that is very traditional in Alabama is an Alabama white sauce. So it's very.
Can you describe that for folks who don't know?
It's a mayonnaise-based sauce.
Got you.
So, and it's typically a little bit vinegary, a little bit sweet, that maybe have a little bit of a kick to it. And so there's all different flavors or types of Alabama white sauces.
What's the attraction to it?
It's just a different flavor.
Okay.
And it does really well. Oh, here we go.
I'm telling you, we're just running out of time. It's my fault, but what can I say? Kicks just keep getting harder to find. Yeah, I'm your Paul Revere Raider-like host, Ray Dudley, coming to you from the YMCA-like conditions of the WKXL studios in Concord. My God, I can smell the pool chlorine all the way over here. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your transistor radios. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. And yes, we're talking barbecue. Yep, everyone's wearing their bibs. All right, we'll be right back.
Hey.
By the way, tomorrow we're getting a rush. This is New Hampshire.
Welcome back to NH Unscripted. Yeah, we just love talking about barbecue, baby. Who loves your pretty baby? You know, I'm your Frankie Valley-like host, Ray Dudley. Happy to be coming to you from the Car 54 light digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. Yes. Brian Bowman, so let me just publicly apologize. So I got his last name wrong. But you're up there in years like me.
Yeah, okay.
You gotta give me a little edge here. We are talking barbecue. And just a moment ago, we were talking about Alabama white sauce. Brian, Is it popular? I'm a New Englander. I love to barbecue. It does not come to my mind to put it on anything. What would it go good with? What's the draw to it?
Yep. So Alabama white sauce is as I said, it's a mayonnaise-based sauce.
Yeah.
So most barbecue sauces are like a tomato-based sauce.
Yeah.
So that's why it's called a white sauce. Very, very traditional and very well liked in the Alabama region. If you go into most barbecue places, they'll have some type of a white sauce. They may not call it Alabama white sauce, but that's kind of what it is.
I just can't imagine something white on top of my meat.
Right. Well, so traditionally, I believe it was created for chicken and pork.
Got you.
So Alabama tends to be more pork related. So we like to, we put it on wings. You can put it on that type of stuff. But where we found, so let me back up a step before we get to that point. So we started working on our own recipe of a white sauce. Because we like the white sauce. Well, we like some of the white sauces that we come across, but there's ones that we just like. Oh, didn't like this one. So my wife came up with her own recipe, and we put it together, and then we brought it to Dan and said, "Hey, we want to make this sauce. We're going to call it a New Hampshire White Mountain Sauce."
So what's special about it?
It's a little bit more garlicky than the traditional Alabama white sauce.
Yeah.
And it has maybe a little bit more of a kick, is what I would say.
Yeah. What are you using for spice in that?
We use cayenne pepper.
Yes.
And we right now use Cholula sauce, but we're exploring another sauce, a different sauce from a very well-known vendor, very well-known barbecue guy who has a clear hot sauce.
What?
So completely clear.
What?
It looks like water, but it has a really good vinegary
I
flavor
have
to it.
never heard of that.
Yeah, I discovered it when I went to Georgia for a class.
What does it taste like?
So it tastes like a hot sauce, but it's clear. So it comes the one that we have is in a little bottle.
What kind of alchemy is that? How do you come up with a clear sauce?
That's a hot sauce because you're looking at a hot sauce comes out with peppers, right?
Yeah.
So all the peppers are different colors. So how do you? I have no idea how he got to a clear sauce, but it was something that I was kind of playing with because anytime you add flavor color to a white sauce, it cuts the color off.
Sure.
Right? The color changes a little, and it's not pure like a pure paper white sauce.
Yeah.
So that's part of what we're exploring in terms of changing that recipe just a little bit. We have a really good recipe that we like. The question becomes, can we use this clear sauce instead of some of the Cholula or some of the other, cayenne or some other spices to make it a little bit wider.
Wow.
So anyway, what originally white sauce was used for, I believe, was for chicken. But what we found is if you take it and put it on a pulled pork sandwich, it is fantastic. It is just amazing.
Yeah?
So what we do, what we usually
I'm doing
do
pulled
is
pork in a couple of weeks.
Have a pulled pork sandwich.
Yeah.
And you put the white sauce on it in coleslaw, and you get like a little bit of a spicy coleslaw. It is just amazing.
Oh.
It's really where we've seen
Dude,
it come.
you're killing me.
But my family also, my carnivore kids will put it on their brisket as well,
Yeah.
which is probably sacrilegious. But that's where they like it. They were the ones who tried it.
So how did they come about? Like, what is it is it sweet? What attracts them to it?
It's just the different flavor that it comes across as. And it brings out a lot of the meat and the flavors in the meats being a little bit different. And it's not your traditional barbecue, sweet barbecue sauce that you might put on something.
Yeah,
So
I could see it on
like
wings. I could see that definitely as a dipping sauce on wings or something.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's got a horseradish.
It's got
Yeah,
it
so
does have
so
a
it's
lot
got a
of
horseradish.
too,
So that's
yeah.
part
That's
of
a
the.
good point, yeah.
Gotcha.
It's got a lot of the when you mix it with the stuff. It's got a lot of that horseradish flavor.
Yep.
Comes through with that white mayonnaise based, and so it's kind of give you an idea if you're looking for a flavor profile.
Yeah.
I think the horseradish comes through.
That's true. That's a good
big
point.
time.
I didn't think of
on
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it difficult to manufacture because now you're dealing with like a mayonnaise? It's an egg kind of based product.
So it's a different, yes, exactly. So it is a different manufacturing process.
Yeah.
Because it is a cold sauce and it's not a hot sauce. It's not something that you heat up. And so we've talked to Dan's co-packer and went through the whole process of, well, how do we make this cold sauce, this white sauce, which is mayonnaise based, shelf stable?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a little bit different of a process. There's some other things you have to put into it to make it shelf stable. But beyond that, it's the manufacturing process is basically you mix it up and you can it and jar it and make it available.
Does it have a name? Do you have a name for it?
Right now, we're talking New Hampshire White Mountain Sauce.
Okay.
So we have to work on the marketing on how do we market it? How are we going to design?
So it's not for
the
sale
labels?
yet?
No. We're in the design and getting approval stage. So we have the design, but we need.
We're technically probably, I would say, 6 months.
Yeah,
Really?
well,
That
it's
long?
6 months.
It takes that long?
It's 120 days because the process itself, and I think we talked about this a couple months ago, is we have to send it up to the University of Maine.
Yep.
They itself take 4 to 6 weeks just for the approval.
Man.
Right, and that's God willing, it all comes back just fine, which it should. They test the pH level and everything, and then 4 to 6 weeks for that, and then we have to schedule a test batch, and then we got to get a production run out. So you're probably it's 120 days if everything goes well, and we're still in the process of we gotta
tweaking it.
So I think we're probably looking at 5 to 6 months.
Yeah, that's probably right. So we need we have to create our test batch and then send it off to be certified and tested.
Yeah.
So that's the process that we're in right now. Is getting ready to do that.
Wow. This is a fascinating subject to me.
Yeah.
Brian, can we talk about meats for a minute? Only because, I'm getting ready to barbecue here in just a week or two. But, there's all this controversy about grass-fed, grass-finished, grain-fed. Where do you lie on that spectrum?
Yeah. So part of what you have to think about is what kind of meat are you working with?
Okay.
Are you working with chicken? Are you working with beef? Pork is much easier.
Yeah.
Because when it comes to pork, you really don't find those different types of things. When you're looking at pork, you're looking at there's really generally no grass fed or grain fed. It's just pork.
Okay.
So there's not much difference. Now you are going to find some very high end, expensive pork solutions, which might state that they're that way. But in terms of testing and working with those, that's different.
How about antibiotics and all of that? Do you?
Part of it depends on how much are you putting into the flavor of the meat.
Yeah.
So chicken, as an example, chicken very much takes on a lot more of the flavor that whatever profile you're putting into it.
Yeah.
So if you're in competition and you're injecting flavor into the chicken. So whether you have an antibiotic-free chicken or a chicken that's loaded with antibiotics, you're losing a lot of the chicken flavor. It's hard to keep that chicken flavor with it.
I'll bet.
So also when if you brine, you're changing that flavor
Great
a lot
point.
as well. So chicken is a little bit more generic in terms of that. From my point of view, if you can afford to spend the money and you're just grilling chicken with a very light sauce or a very light rub, then that might make a difference in the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get back down to beef, unless you're looking at a very high-end steak or other types of other different levels of quality of beef, then whether it's grass-fed or antibiotic-free, much less of an issue.
Does that affect you at all in competition? Do you prefer one over the other?
No, in general, we don't.
You don't?
No. So living in New England, when it comes to beef, you're looking at you're always talking brisket at this point in time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So our brisket choices are pretty limited. You can go to a butcher and typically they'll have certified Angus beef or cab.
Yep.
So and that falls into the different categories of the types of beef.
Yeah, that's what I have in my
terms of
freezer
you're
right
working
now.
with. Yeah. So when it comes to categories of beef, you're talking effectively. There's kind of three different categories. One is cab or certified Angus beef. Okay, and then the generic rating for beef in the United States is you have choice, select, or prime.
Yep. Okay.
And it all has to do with how much marbling is inside the muscle. So that's really where
you have a preference over one when you cook?
Yes. Yeah, so we like prime. You can do choice.
Yep.
But again, we're talking about brisket, right? So brisket, you're cooking for a long time.
Yeah.
So the more marbling you have inside of it, the better it is.
Stay away from select.
Better flavor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So select is almost impossible for you to get as a consumer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're
I thought that's what they dump on the market.
No, choice is typically either choice or prime is what you're looking at.
Got you.
Now, there's other ones as well. We can come back and talk about.
Yes, sir. See, and here we are. We're going. I told you. Oh my God. You are listening to NH Unscripted, baby. Where only the strong survive. I am your Jerry Butler-like host, Ray Dudley, coming to you from deep, deep, deep within the bunkers of the WKXL studios in Concord. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM. Get the heat turned on here someday. 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. We will be right back because I'm not done talking about barbecue. Hang on. Welcome back to NH Unscripted. My goodness, there's some days I'm just happy to be alive. Gimme that good lovin'. I am your young rascals-like host, Ray Dudley, coming to you from the Gong Show-like digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. Yeah. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL, where you can find the archives of this, which should be award-winning show out there. Let's say you get lonely 2 or 3 in the morning, you're having some milk and cookies, and you need a friend. Hey, head on out there. You'll find me. You'll see all the other great shows that are here at the station. This show airs every Wednesday and Friday mornings at 9 a.m. with a re-airing on Wednesday and Friday evenings now at 8 p.m. We are lucky. We're talking barbecue today. Brian, we're talking about meats, and we started talking about the science of meats. I To me, there's something when I know I'm gonna barbecue. I just look forward to it so much, and I know that people can think, well, this could be a huge process. I gotta cut off the fat, trim it down. Sometimes I have to marinate whatever I'm doing. Dude, I just love it. I get up in the morning, whether I'm trimming brisket or whatever. I got the barrel going because I use a pit barrel. I've got the charcoal. I've got the wood in there. It's smoking. It's just such a world that I love. I can see why you folks in
Absolutely, you just get buried in it.
No
You
kidding.
get lost. It's like a rabbit hole. You go down, and you start chasing something, and you're chasing it and chasing it and chasing it. Forever.
Yeah. At some point, you have to settle on something, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Whether it's the wood or the meat or the seasoning or whatever, you just got to stop because you just get buried in it. When you folks are so getting back to like brisket, let's just say, you guys source out. You're looking for prime when you guys are competing?
Depending on the competition, we choose and use a different type of meat. So, and part of it, there's some subtle reasons for that.
Yeah.
So, in New England, Dan had mentioned CBA or Champions Barbecue Alliance.
Yep.
It's a sanctioning body across the U.S., Texas-based. So, but they tend to bring in people to judge off the street. So if you're cooking a prime,
I didn't know
versus a choice for them, or versus a Wagyu, and I didn't talk about Wagyu at all,
right?
Because Wagyu's the next level up.
No kidding. That's the millionaire food.
We need to come back and revisit. So whether you're cooking a Wagyu at $200 a brisket or a prime at $90 a brisket, if your judge, from a competition standpoint, can't really tell the difference, then why go with the $200 Wagyu?
Good point.
So when we do CBA, this year we went with prime, but when we do Kansas City Barbecue Society or KCBS, the judges are all certified. So they're looking and they know to be able to pick out.
So their palate is kind of structured.
Absolutely. And they know what the structure of the meat looks like, the brisket specifically, how it pulls and how it falls apart. So you almost have to go with a Wagyu. So, and everybody that I know of uses cooks with American Wagyu. Japanese Wagyu is by far the best. But it's incredibly expensive. Yeah. And it's all obviously all imported. There is Australian Wagyu as well, but I've never seen anybody cook with that as well. So American Wagyu is what a lot of people will cook with.
What farms have that? Was that on the Midway? Where would that be?
There's a farm in New England
that does Wagyu.
That has
New Hampshire Wagyu.
Thank you, New Hampshire Wagyu.
Yeah, there's a company called New Hampshire Wagyu Beef.
Yeah.
That is based right here.
No idea.
It's based right here in New Hampshire, and they service all of New England and around the country. Actually, they are really growing, and they have a whole Wagyu farm.
Yeah,
in New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's just outside of. It's up here in Concord area.
What?
Yeah.
I visit them. I've been there. I've been to their store. Yeah. So that's
Bowl
that's
me
one.
over with a feather.
And if you're looking to do Wagyu at home, that's probably the best choice because you can go there and it's all frozen, but it's so fresh.
Yeah, I have to remortgage my house to pay for it, though.
Yeah, well, that's an option. Exactly. But everybody else will order it online.
Yeah.
So a lot of the biggest vendor of Wagyu is probably Snake River Farms.
Got you. Yes. I bump into them all the time online.
I've used them once or twice. I found another company in Kansas called Booth Creek Wagyu. They have their meat selection and their brisket selection is broken down a little bit more for what I like to do. So I've had really, really good luck with them, and a little bit more reasonable than Snake River Farms. Incredibly consistent Wagyu.
And then there's Mr. Brisket.
Yes.
What?
Mr. Brisket is out there, too.
Wait, seriously? Like Mr. Coffee? Mr. Brisket?
Yeah,
it's called Mr. Brisket.
Seriously?
Yeah, and he provides a lot of meats.
Yeah.
He has competition boxes as well. I get my pork collars for pulled pork from him. So a lot of people will do specific things like that.
Wait, well, I'm going to write that one down. Mr. Brisket, huh? Sorry, gentlemen, I hate that stuff.
No, that's
in the middle of the show.
So
I'm taking notes.
Thank you, Dan. So Mr. Brisket's what you use. And so I tend to go with, I'll go to Booth Creek for my brisket.
Yep.
I'll go to Mr. Brisket for my pork, for my pulled pork.
Why? What's different about his?
Because, he provides what's called a collar. And a collar, so a pork butt is made up of basically three sections.
Okay.
You have the money muscle, you have the tubes, the middle muscles, which are called tubes,
Okay.
and then you have the rest of it, which is typically on the bone.
Okay.
So you want, for a competition, you want the money muscle.
Got you.
And so they'll take a pork butt and cut off the money muscle in some of the tubes.
Yeah.
And it will come in a section, and you can just buy that.
Got you.
So it's a little bit more reasonable price. I don't want to cook a full pork butt because I don't need that extra pulled pork.
Got you.
So I don't want to do that.
Got you.
So now at home, I'll go local and buy from a big box store a full pork butt and cook that up. So that's different. So
Brian, I have a question, and forgive me for delving into this, but when you're in competition, if you don't place, let's say you don't make the top, I don't know what it would be,
top 10 typically,
yeah, okay. How do you know what to do, or do you do anything? Do you go back and do you go, we have to go back and tweak something? How would you even know what, or don't you just go, you know what, we have to rely on what we know, we believe in our product, and that's it?
So there's kind of two aspects to that. One is, depending on the judges and how helpful they are, they will give you what's called judging cards.
They will.
So they'll give you a card that says, I didn't like yours because of X, Y, and Z.
What? Seriously?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And one of the advantages of the CBA is that the judges do all their stuff on phones. So, and they can go pick and choose feedback to give to you. So you get a lot more feedback in CBA than KCBS.
Dude, that's brilliant.
Traditionally.
Yeah. So
that's the first part of it is if you don't make the top 10, even if you make the top 10, it's like, how do I get from number 8 to number 3 or number 1?
Yeah.
Right? So the second part of that is going back and looking at the cook that you did. So, I did 4 meats today. Well, my brisket didn't fare well. Why didn't it fare well? Did I not cook it long enough? Was it did I overcook it? Was it a bad piece of meat? You always got to try and start with a good piece of meat.
Right.
So is my spice, is my rub and my sauce combination and my injection the right flavors for what the judges are looking for?
So many tangibles.
So,
Man.
and remember, the judges are all looking at just single bites. So you got to prepare that meat, assuming they're only going to get one bite. So I'm cooking a 17-pound brisket.
Yeah.
And I'm putting 6 slices in the box.
Yeah.
Minimum of 6. They're taking one bite out of that slice of brisket, and that's it.
So I imagine then different competitions kind of look for different things. So different regions have a different palate.
Yeah. So the methodology is no, they're supposed to have the similar palate. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you go to Georgia, those judges are probably local judges. So they're going to have their own flavor profile that they're going to like more. Versus Texas, which is very different, versus Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
So you have to be able to deal with that. So the people that I've talked to that compete nationally and travel a lot, they find a very middle of the road, stable flavor, and that's the flavor they use across the country.
They stick with it.
Yeah, they do very little adjustment of flavors from region to region, and they tend to do pretty good across all of them.
So they're happy to be 5 or 6 in the lineup. They don't care about. I mean, obviously everybody wants to be 1, 2, or 3, but they're happy to just sit there at 5.
Traditionally, they're if they get what's called a call, get in the top 10, then they're generally pretty happy, and they'll generally do 3, 4, 5. Sometimes they'll get a second or a win, but in those areas they tend to do very consistently stable. Yeah. So that's part of it is can I produce the same flavor profile time after time after time, and that's when it comes back to documenting and knowing what your process is and what your rubs are, making sure you use the same rubs in the same sauces.
Gentlemen, Dan, please give us your website again.
BigDogSauce.com.
Brian, your website again.
HotMessBBQNH.com.
Where does the time go? My goodness. You have been listening to NH Unscripted. God, I love my job. We are coming to you from the not so overly ostentatious digs of the WKXL studios in Concord. Little nod there to Norm Nathan. 1450 AM, 103.9 FM on your Sony Walkmans in Concord. 101.9 FM for the beautiful souls in Manchester. NHTalkRadio.com is our URL. All right, that's it. Go out, buy your briskets, get your little pork butts. It's fall. We can still do this. All right, see you on the next one.